Welcome all. 7? Great. Okay, today's live show will be a bit different than my previous ones. I have spent a lot of time trying to understand OBS, the software, better, and worked on a structure on my live streams. So, hopefully, this will be the best live stream I ever done.
Wow!
But you can't be sure. Hello, George. I think I said hello to everyone. Everyone I've seen in the side chat, I meant. I don't think I've seen 7 people yet. First, what I've done, I'm trying to make a structure so it's easier to make live streams and it's easier for you as an audience to follow it. This is the first part I plan to have. Perhaps not every time, but a part of the streams where I talk about the channel and if it's some kind of news. Today I did send, let's see, the knife in the middle here is on its way by post to Judy Bassett. She was February's winner. Hope the postal service don't hide it somewhere or it gets missed. But then I will send another one. And then I have a part of the stream that I call news or news, flat earth news. Let's move on to that one. The first clip I have is from Wolfie6020. If you don't follow his channel, I highly recommend it. And I think 2 days ago he published a short video, and I will show a very short part of it because I think it's a brilliant flat earth debunk, and it's quite obvious that flerfs hate Wolfie. They don't want to have him in the comment section, and they seldom try to debunk his videos. Let's watch a short part of this one.
So here is the first observation taken in December while crossing the Pacific en route to the USA. We saw a moonrise almost directly in front of the aircraft. Just to refresh your memory on the symbology in the head-up display, this line here is called the HUD horizon line. It represents horizontal. It is the zero pitch reference, horizontal from the pilot's eyes. This indication here is 5 degrees above horizontal, and this one is 5 degrees below horizontal. Now, as the moon came up, you can clearly see that it is below horizontal. Now, on a flat Earth, that would only be possible if the moon was at a lower altitude than the aircraft. We're maintaining a constant 44,000 feet, and the moon is visible below horizontal. That's impossible on a flat Earth.
Quick, simple to understand, and devastating for the flat Earth fools.
It looks like a CGI soda can.
No, Leo, it's not a CGI soda can. Then I have some events. Perhaps this one is for Tusk. Mark Sargent loves to make gatherings and announce Flat Earth gathering. I don't know how to pronounce it. I believe this is in the south of England. Perhaps too far away for Tusk to meet up. Next week. But I don't know who arranged these meetings, but it would be fun to attend to one. And here I have the next one. This is in California. It's in March, and this one, if you're in the area, you have to attend to this one. And you will be able to meet up with Mark Sargent. Wow.
Wow!
Oh, perhaps I have to fly to California to meet him. The next video a bit longer. I will not play the whole one, but I start thinking about if this man is losing his mind.
Good morning, folks. A lot of people have been asking me since I'm in Ohio, what's up with this train situation? Is it another hoax? Is it real? Well, straight answer is I don't know. But I would say this. I, for a long time, called out the auto hoaxers as everyone calls Flat Earth a psyop. The true psyop is the auto-hoaxing gematria channels out there that just, the instant they see a 33, it's a hoax, it's a hoax. Yet, I constantly see number 33 fire truck driving into our complex here. So, I should go get some video one time, next time I see it, and ask everybody, is it a hoax? Because it's number 33 fire truck. Asinine, completely asinine. So, what's the usual modus operandi for these hoaxes? And I'm not saying nothing's hoaxes, but what usually happens? It's pumped all over the news, shoved down your throat. Well, is this train situation being pumped all over CNN and the mainstream news? No. So what does that tell you? Yesterday, apparently a alloy metal plant in Bedford, Ohio, exploded. Just exploded. Nothing to see here. The train situation's just under 200 miles away from me. I'm damn sure not going to go driving up in there and breathing all that shit. I smoke enough cigarettes. I got enough issues to worry about. I'm not going to go breathing chemicals to investigate. I see enough evidence with, once again, all the food plants all over this country and world being attacked. This chemical warfare situation.
Okay, that's enough of this nonsense, but everything is a conspiracy for this nuts case. Railway derailment, fires in factories, everything is a conspiracy. And accident with the freight train is chemical warfare. Oh, oh dear. He must have some kind of mental problem. Let's move on to some proper or normal flat earth stupidity. Let's begin with Mike Smith. This is a real nutcase.
All right, guys, we got to get something straightened out here for these flat earthers and truthers. You need, when you are being interviewed or questioned by a Globie and they say flat earth theory, you need to correct them and say that it's a fact. Because
Wow!
it's not a theory. And when you talk about theories, the firmament is not a theory. It is a fact. It is above your melon. So stop saying belief. Belief, 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 blah, 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 blah. They are not beliefs. The earth is flat. That is a fact. The firmament is real. That is a fact.
Why is he lying down when he's making videos? We have CC in the car, Daniel Pratt in the basement, and Mike Smith in the bed. Oh dear.
You need to stop saying belief or theories. Belief, belief, theory, theory, belief. Do not bring any of your beliefs or theories into my world. I don't deal with that shit, okay? Theories, go away. Beliefs, go away. We deal with facts on this channel. Flat Earth is not a theory. You need to stop and correct whoever is asking you that, and you personally need to stop saying Flat Earth theory. Wake the hell up, man. And stop saying belief or theories in your own descriptions of shit. You need to start saying facts. Wake up, people. It's driving me nuts. Oh, and what do you think about the flat earth theory? It's not a theory, man. Then you can go on with your pathetic description. Stop saying belief or theories. Whatever, man. I'm done. Goodbye.
Oh dear. This one is crazy in another way than Daniel Pratt, but I couldn't resist showing this for you. Abby, I'm sorry. Okay, we move on. And now to the next fool. Lately, CC have visited a museum and been on some lecture about space and so on. So here CC is on a museum with his daughter.
This is perfect. Look at this. That's the blue marble, guys. You think that's the original? Now look at the size of Africa. I didn't realize the size of Africa took the entire side of the earth.
I wonder if beside me I have a globe, and I'm looking on it from perhaps 1.5 meter, and I turned it so I see Africa, and it's quite similar with that picture. I know that this fool have a globe at home, because I somewhere in my archives I have a video where he's using a globe. So this is so damn stupid.
Huh, that's incredible. And this is supposedly the moon. This is the picture taken from, I'm not sure when, let's see. Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter image of Earthsat 2015. Oh, okay. That's quite interesting. See, finds it very interesting. I do too, don't you?
It looks like a CGI
This is great. Look,
soda can.
Amazing. It really is. Well, we all know that's fake and bullshit. Sorry.
Who is he talking about when he always referred to we? But I never seen him with any other flat earthers or his wife is definitely not a flerf.
Live on a flat world. Let's come on down here and check out this one. This is the Hudson Valley River Museum, by the way. This is the telescope that they used back in 1987, I believe. Wow. Look at this. Huh? Look at this beaut. How much do you think that must have cost? I prefer my P1000, actually, but...
This also typical flat earther. He prefers his P1000 and he compares it with the scientific instrument that have cost a lot of money. He's much more advanced. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, no, this is the Space Transit Planetarium. Okay, yes. Be one of the telescopes that they had. Quite incredible. I really enjoy that picture of the moon. Let me get a front picture too of it. Hold on. So we get a good thunder host for this one right here.
Why is CC filming his own stomach?
I think. What do you think? Can you see me in there? I can't really get another reflection of the sun. Hey, look, guys, I'm on the moon. Hey.
Oh dear. And now a video from...
So I had this really interesting dream recently, and I've decided...
Have you seen any video before with Kyle Adams' dreams? This will be stupid. I have to warn you.
I wanted to tell you about it. I was in this church-like setting. There's a whole bunch of rows.
The church? I'm very surprised.
Pews, and there was a guest speaker. His name was John Wesley Powell, and he was talking about the different languages that he learned throughout his lifetime. And then I had this opportunity to go up to him and ask him a question. I asked him, what's your favorite food? And he told me that he liked American food more than the Native American food that they would give him. And he described his favorite food as like a treacle smoothie. And I had no idea what that was, but I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, gotta ask, flat or globe? And immediately after asking that, he didn't say anything. But suddenly the whole scene changed. We're no longer in the church, but all of a sudden now we were standing at a beach. And all he did was point to the horizon. Just point to the horizon. That was it. After that, I woke up. And then...
Anybody who have a guess where this will end? Anyone that can guess why Kyle is telling us about his dreams? Prepare yourself. This is going to be real stupid.
And I was like, what in the world is treacle? And so I actually went and looked it up, and it's kind of hard to figure that one out because I didn't know how to spell it. And so I was playing around, and I found out that treacle is actually a kind of molasses. And so he was kind of talking about a treacle smoothie, maybe like a milk with like this molasses stuff like mixed into it. I don't know, but yeah, you can take it for what you think. And so
soon it's coming. I haven't seen any guesses yet. What will be the conclusion of this? Let's move on.
Yeah. John Wesley Powell was an Old West explorer of the 1800s, and he was really famous for traversing the Grand Canyon, going down the Colorado River, and they even named Lake Powell after him. I knew that beforehand, but the sheer timing of it all, just the randomness of it, really stood out to me. That and this treacle thing, I had no idea what it was. But when I found out that it actually was an additive that people would use to sweeten their drinks in that time period, that kind of tells me that this may have been more than just a dream. The indirect answer of not saying anything, just pointing a finger indicating to look, also stands out to me. It kind of reminds me of my prayers. Whenever I've prayed and asked Heavenly Father, is the earth flat? That's always been kind of my response. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. Take a look at that. You tell me here. It also kind of reminds me of scriptures when different people saw angels, and rather than just telling them how things are, they'd say, look, 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 you tell me.
Oh dear. Oh. So was God involved with his dream, or what is Kyle's conclusion of this rubbish? Yeah, yes, it looks flat.
Because nobody cares what you think it is.
Okay, next one is NPT for all. I think it's Mexican or Latin American or something. I think he's Spanish speaking, and he's quite often on Globebusters and on Jared's channel. And this one is, I believe this one is from Globebuster or Jared's show, but I did find it on on NPT's channel, and I have cut it down a bit because the Globemaster gang often uses NPT as some kind of expert in different fields. Often things regarding space and satellites and so on, they often use this fool as some kind of authority.
I am presenting.
And you should be good to go now.
Okay, I'm going to start with the Google Earth, and then we can go back a little bit in the video and address some other technologies behind the Google Earth. But here is an actual employee. I think it's in English, so let me know.
So how do we build Google Earth? The way it starts is we look at places that we want to collect in imagery, and then we collect it through a variety of different ways. One is satellites.
One, supposedly. Let's keep.
And satellites give you the global views, and that's all 2D imagery that's wrapped around the globe. When you get closer to the ground, we have 3D data that we collect from planes.
Yes, you heard right, planes. I'd always assumed that every overhead photo of the Earth I'd ever seen was taken by a satellite. But I learned creating 3D imagery requires special conditions. So Google flies planes, or as I now like to think of them, street view cars with wings. Kevin told us that a typical flight to take photos is around 5 hours. Except the planes aren't going across the country, they're making little zigzags over the same area.
So it's north and turn south. It's sort of like mowing the lawn.
This pattern helps the photos overlap, and multiple cameras help capture a place from different angles.
The planes have 5 different cameras, one looking down and forward, back, left, and right.
In my mind, I'm picturing like photograph, 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 photograph,
Yep.
and then something puts them all together.
Okay, I think this is a very good explanations why they don't use satellite for these 3D pictures, these close-ups. The description they just give when they use different cameras in different angles and so on to make these 3D models. And they did play the whole of this explanation, but what are their conclusion?
Something called an algorithm.
Photogrammetry, yeah.
Which is just a fancy word for taking all of this imagery that we collect from the plane and constructing a 3D model.
The first step to creating a place in 3D is a little bit of photo editing.
So all the imagery is sort of prepped. That would be removing clouds, removing haze, color correcting. You'll actually see that a lot of the cities don't even have cars in them. We actually take the time to extract those.
Then the 3D science begins.
Como vimos, Google Earth.
So that's the first thing. I mean, you need to keep something in mind. First of all, there is no any satellite images, because if you take a look at the beginning of the explanation for the actual employees of Google, it's all CGI, and supposedly it's this part that is the global, that what they call a global view.
But once again, this is a classic flat earth stupidity. Who would take pictures of satellites in space? And why? It would cost a lot of money to take a great shot of a satellite with the Earth in the background. Oh dear.
This starting point is just a plane. Maybe you have a little confused because at the beginning of this for example, this super wide field of view, maybe in your mind represent a satellite view, but this is just mosaic putting together from the
It'd be very
ground.
easy to basically simulate a satellite view.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that
and they ask him, there was Jared asking him as he's some kind of expert in this. He's he claims that they are faking the satellite images. They making them so they look like they are taken from out of space. But they never show any proofs. They have shown the whole explanation how this works in reality with satellite, with planes. They have explained why they are using planes, why they can't do this with satellites. It's obvious. From a satellite, you wouldn't be able to take the buildings from different angles and so on. For any sane person, this would be so easy to understand, but not for flat earthers.
It's very funny because when they start making the zoom, they just making on purpose, of course, because this is all social engineering, to a global Earth. You know, they can pick whatever they want. No, they pick a happy spherical Earth, but they don't mention this maybe for, you know, some type of restriction in terms of the brand, but the most important company of the world is Bexel, and Bexel are produce this amount of data with this super high quality, with all the different for example data, like you know, if you want to see the climate or the ground or the fields of the crops or whatever, it's being produced by this company and others, 24 hours, world-class technology, support by the Bexel cameras built by Microsoft technology, and
I have got enough of this. Even when they have all evidence, they claim that it's fake and they make up their own theories. Oh, this is pure stupid. Yes, stating the obvious. They on the best satellites they can see very small things. But the problem here is you can't make 3D images from space. That one is hard. Oh, I will leave that one. Today it's 1 year since Ukraine were attacked by Russia, and as you all know, I worked hard with collecting money for sending drones to Ukraine. This week I did get some money because I worked so much last year for the military, so I did yesterday ordered two more drones, so now it's 26 drones ordered, and hopefully they will stay in the air for a while. I spoke with one of the active servicemen in the unit, and they have lost a lot of drones the latest week. So of those 23 that have arrived to Ukraine, only 6 is flying, and they have had some quite heavy losses in soldiers too, both dead and wounded. So I keep on fighting. I have decided to do one thing, and I will take make an announcement on that part later in this stream. I'm also planning making some videos about religious claims, like claims about evolution and so on. And I have chosen Kyle Adams. I have cut away a lot of pieces from his video, and it will not be obvious in the beginning why I choose to categorize it as religion or beliefs, because the subject is not that one.
I don't know about where you're at, but here in Utah, if you're looking to make some extra cash for not doing much of anything, donating plasma at BioLife tends to be a really popular gig.
Please note the title of his video, BioLife Plasma Service, obviously a private company that people goes to donate plasma, and conspiracy. So that's the meaning of this video. Kyle Adams is convinced that this plasma service company is a conspiracy. The whole industry is a conspiracy.
Currently, there are over 70 different BioLife plasma donation centers scattered across the United States, where they prey upon the poor, needy, and the frequently starving college students struggling to make ends meet.
If you donate the maximum of 104 times a year, you can earn more than $6,000.
Some people can make even more than that these days if you get into all of the different promos that they offer. But the question is, what would something like that do to your body?
So now Kyle is some kind of medical expert.
To answer that, let's ask the question, what is plasma?
If you were to spin a blood sample really fast or centrifuge it, you would soon find that plasma makes up about 55% of the volume of blood. And plasma itself is actually 90% water.
90% water. So donating plasma should mostly just dehydrate you. But water is a super abundant resource. Yet companies like BioLife want to pay you a bunch of money so they can harvest it out of your blood?
He is so damn stupid.
There's gotta be something more to it than just that.
I speeded this part up.
The red blood cells get filtered out through the centrifuge in a plasma donation. But what about those white blood cells? Are those collected as well as the plasma? I don't think they're paying out for a simple vitamin water here. If they are actually taking your white blood cells, that could be significant.
The nutrients come from the food we eat every day and include amino acids, vitamins, fats, sugars, and fatty acids. These key components are used to keep us fit and healthy. Plasma also transports heat throughout the body and can even help with heat loss. Yeah, that's what water does. As well as being 90% water, plasma is 7% proteins. Some of these proteins in the blood plasma are involved in defense. These include globulins, functioning as antibodies, which are used to fight infection, and fibrinogen, which helps to form clots to seal wounds.
Okay, that would explain why blood plasma is advertised as helping the pharmaceutical companies make medicine for people with compromised immune systems.
And where is the conspiracy? People goes and donate plasma and get paid for it. And it's used to help sick people, to save lives. And this damn fool call it a conspiracy. Oh dear.
The most important protein in plasma is albumin. Albumin proteins in the blood plasma pull water back into the blood capillary from the surrounding tissues. The albumin in the blood plasma means there is a higher water concentration in the fluid in the surrounding tissues than there is in the blood.
So if you take those proteins out of your body and give them to someone else, do you think that'll affect your body very much?
This means water is pulled back into the blood from the tissues by osmosis and water moving down its concentration gradient. We say that the albumin maintains the osmotic pressure of the blood.
So taking that out of your body is going to affect your body's ability to regulate blood pressure.
As well as 90% water.
No one have problem regulating their blood pressure when they are giving plasma. Oh dear. He making things up. I know I speeded this part of the video up because he misunderstand all the explanations in this video here he's using.
And 7% protein. Plasma also has important salts and electrolytes, such as sodium and potassium.
Gatorade also has that. But they don't need your blood plasma for that. Even a simple IV has that.
These are really important in keeping our nerves firing. They can send messages around the body. Plasma also includes enzymes that catalyze reactions and hormones that regulate body functions.
Okay, so it's not really your plasma that they want, which is mostly water. It's actually the hormones, enzymes, and all these other things that are in your plasma that they want.
So as well as moving useful substances around the body, plasma is also...
And they make it sound like it's some kind of... Oh dear. I get so mad when I listen to this. Yes, Jens, they are making money. But even in Sweden, where the most of the healthcare sector with hospitals, when I leave blood, it's not private companies, but okay, they are a part of the conspiracy too.
...in getting rid of waste products, like urea. Urea is produced in the liver when excess amino acids are broken down. The nitrogen from the amino acids is converted to ammonia, but this is poisonous, and so we don't want it in our blood. Instead, it's converted again to urea before being released into our plasma.
Which means if we take the plasma out of your blood, your body's going to have a harder time getting rid of this urea, which will affect your health.
The blood plasma is filtered by the kidneys, and the urea is removed from the body in the urine. So, to summarize, the plasma has a range of roles, including maintaining blood pressure, water levels, and body temperature. It has a major role in transporting many substances around the body, including hormones, nutrients, gases, waste products, and proteins, such as antibodies and enzymes.
So if you take that plasma out of your blood, it is going to affect your health in a lot of different ways.
No one have said that. It's made up by this fool. I'm quite sure I have given blood for a long time, and there are health checks, and they are very clear how often you can give it, and I don't know about any cases where people have been sick because they are leaving blood or leaving plasma.
Plasma regenerates so quickly that donors can donate twice a week with just a day in between donations.
That 90% water in your plasma might replenish itself really quickly. But that doesn't mean all of that other stuff in your plasma also replenishes itself that quickly.
Is Kyle any kind of medical doctor suddenly? Quite recently, I did hear from him that he's a priest. Is he a medical doctor now? Of course not.
Thousands of people are catching up on reading, work, and simply relaxing while donating plasma.
Holy freak, that is a lot of plasma. That is just from one person too. Please keep in mind that the average human adult body only has about 1.5 gallons of blood in it. If you take that much plasma out of it, don't you think that's going to have some negative repercussions on your body?
Who benefits from plasma donations? Some of the more common recipients are people with hemophilia, immune deficiencies, emergency room patients, or burn victims.
It's about...
And there we have it. Who benefits from this? I think it's great that people get money for donating plasma, and people who needs it gets it. Oh dear.
$4,000 to $5,000 out of pocket. And there have been times where I have had to, I've taken out loans.
These drugs are therapies, not cures. So people like Christina rely on them for the rest of their lives, and they can cost over $200,000 a year.
So they don't cure anything. Essentially, they compromise the health of the many, poor and struggling, to treat the few with compromised immune systems.
Okay, I don't live in US, and I live in a country that there, for instance, we have maximum amounts in Sweden for medical expenses. You have a limit. You will only pay up to $250 per year. That's the maximum for medicine, and the same goes for visit hospitals and so on. It's maximum 200. I think it's $200 per year. So that maximum what it can cost you. So I understand this part, that this is a big, if you don't have insurance in US that covers the medical costs, it's quite hard. But this fool makes it sounds like the medical industry makes people need those medications, those crazy expensive medications.
BioLife sounds like a pharmaceutical company dream come true. Let's make poor people sick by compromising their immune system, hopefully making them dependent upon us.
This claim, it's his own fantasies, and of course he's looking on this from American perspective with these costs, these high costs and so on. But many countries don't have the same systems as in US, and all medical companies are not US based. Oh dear.
So we can continually treat sick people who can afford to pay $200,000 a year, but never cure them, because we want them to become dependent upon us for the rest of their lives.
What evidence do we have for that silly claim? None.
This is modern-day slavery. By definition, a conspiracy is an unlawful, harmful, or evil plan formulated in secret by two or more persons. A plot. It can also be defined as a combination of persons for such an unlawful, harmful, or evil purpose. So, is BioLife a conspiracy fact? Look into it for yourself and you decide. My sources are linked in this video's description. Thank you all for watching.
I'm quite speechless. Why I've choose to categorize this in religion, I will come back to that one. First, another fool on the same subject. This is a shorter one.
Many people today are of the opinion that Jim Jones and the Jonestown Massacre was done in the name of Christianity, And unfortunately, people have not really researched this, because if people actually knew the facts about Jonestown and what happened in Guyana, they wouldn't come to such a radical conclusion that Christianity was the problem. The problem was actually atheism, because Jim Jones...
Once again, Matt Powell often tries this trick. The last video I covered was that one where he claimed that Hitler was an atheist. But so if someone that don't believe in God makes something evil, it's because they don't believe in God. But it's quite simple to find people who are Christians that have made horrible things. So it's
Jones himself was an atheist.
Because everyone knows where I'm at, my bishop knows that I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist.
He got behind the pulpit and would cuss and swear to his followers, but he would also make statements like, "There is no God."
And I agree with that one.
He literally said that from the pulpit. He said that there is no God, but socialism is God. He even said in a recorded interview with the FBI that my bishop knows that I am an atheist. He went on to say that there is no heaven up there. He preached this.
And therefore he's evil. Therefore he killed all these followers for his cult.
That there is no heaven up there, and so we're going to have to make heaven down here. He told people that there was no resurrection, that nobody's ever going to come to save us. During one of Jones's sermons, he stated that he came in the phenomena of religion to get people out of religion.
And there are many bad religions too, or not religions, but communities like this silly dinosaur Adventureland.
Even Jim Jones's wife said this: Jones had not been lured to the ministry by deep religious faith, but because it served his goal of achieving social change through Marxism. Jim used religion to try to get some people out of the opiate of religion. She also said that Jim Jones slammed the Bible on his desk and declared that I've got to destroy this paper idol. I really want you to let this sink in. Jim Jones had said that have nothing to do with God, have nothing to do with that sky god, have nothing to do with this Bible. That's what he said, word for word. You can look it up. You can see it on FBI recordings. Jones also said that he wished for a moment that everybody would wake up to what he had said, and just for a moment think that there is no God. He says, and then maybe we might do something to help ourselves. And I suppose that's why Jim Jones said that socialism is God. He says there is no God but socialism.
The last video I have here is, I will link to that one soon. I come back to this with the blood plasma, because I when I prepared the Kyle Adams video, I first remembered that wrong. I thought he was a Jehovah's Witness, but he's a Mormon, and Jehovah's Witnesses don't take blood or blood plasma and so on. They refuse that, and that was my first reaction on Kyle's video, that was the reason why he did this. But when I checked the Mormons, they accept blood, so I'm not sure about Kyle's beliefs and not beliefs, because I think behind his thoughts about plasma is something in his religious beliefs. because I know that his church don't like his flat earth nonsense. He said it himself in a video. So I think Kyle is making up his own beliefs and don't follow his church. So, but I did find, I forgot to link to this video, but this one is about Jehovah's Witnesses and blood. And I think this is a kind of reply to Kyle too. Because if you listen to Kyle, all evil comes from atheists. And if someone point out, for instance, that Hitler was Christian, I don't know if he was Christian or not. I don't think it's interesting. But he protested, tried to prove that atheists are evil.
A governing body member. Last year, I had the opportunity to interview a man named Daniel Graves shortly after he had defected from the United States branch office at Wallkill, New York. Among other roles during his time working as a Bethelite, or Jehovah's Witness volunteer staff member, Daniel told me he'd spent 3.5 years answering calls from HLC elders as an overseer's secretary for the hospital information desk. When I pressed him for the number of Jehovah's Witnesses who had died refusing blood over this period, this was his response.
Okay, and so in 3.5 years of doing this, are you able to tell us how many Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States died?
It would be very hard for me to put a number on it because not every case comes to the HLC, and not every case that the HLC get comes to the national headquarters. So a lot of things, a lot of the trauma, motorcycle accidents, people on blood thinners that just quickly bleed out, we would get wind of that. And every week we were abreast of somebody that had passed away, or we would get a note by somebody from the HLC that something had happened. But to actually, collate that and down to a funnel and say, this is the actual number, I just don't think that could ever be the case.
Okay. If I can press you,
sure.
Would it be, if there were a number, would it be in the dozens or the hundreds or the thousands?
Per day, per month? I mean, what are we talking about?
In the 3.5 year period that you were doing it?
Oh, no. Thousands. People, it's very common. I mean, this blood issue, especially with COVID and some other things that we saw there, it played a role at times. And so people go in for what would be a normal valve replacement, but then they don't have the blood count or the bone marrow to really create baby RBCs, reticulocytes, and then they just naturally become anemic. So many sickle cell for little children. That was a sad thing because it's just a small crisis. And if you could just get over that hump, it'd be fine.
Hopefully this clip will help put everything in context, especially if you happen to be watching this video as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. When it comes to talking about the blood teaching, we are not talking about personal choice or blood alternatives as a preferable form of treatment. We are talking about a religious command instituted as relatively recently as 1945, a command that must be observed no matter what, and which has already claimed the lives of literally thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses and their children.
Okay, I know that not Kyle is in this church and not Matt Powell. I only chose this because of Kyle's blood video about plasma, because if you believe him, this kind of treatments is making people sick. And if people stop donating blood, people will die because of the lack of blood. Oh dear, this type of fools make me so damn angry. As Kyle Adams, he have a nice way and sounds nice, and if you listen to him, he's a quite evil person sometimes. If, for instance, this one, it's make me sick. The 3 knives on the screen now. This was the knives that Judy Bassett did choose from. The one in the middle is on the way to her now in envelope, and to celebrate 50 live broadcasts, I will for among those who will donate to drones to Ukraine before the end of February. Among them, I will randomly choose one who will get the knife in the top. It's a stainless steel blade from Mora, and I made the knife handle, I made the leather work and so on. So I will send it to someone who donate using PayPal, and it don't have to be a big amount, any amount. I will randomly select someone of you and send that knife. So okay, your forge. What do you mean, Dusk? When I starting to making my own blades, you mean? This summer I will forge. Wait a moment, I have to translate that one. Task. First I have to... my plan is first I have to learn how to make knife blades. So this summer I will train that before I make my own. Because it's I don't believe it's so easy. Okay. That was what I planned for today. Not the perfect live broadcast, but a bit better than my normal. I hope you liked it. Hope you will come back. I will be back Monday with a new video. And I hope you all will have a nice weekend. And as my bot says, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. And don't forget, if you donate the drones to Ukraine using PayPal, you have the chance to be the owner of an Arctic knife. They are not for sale, so it's exclusive. I have given away one to a friend, a hunting knife, and then the second one that is outside my family is on the way to Judy, and perhaps you will be the next one who have an exclusive Arctic knife. Okay, that was all for me for this time. Hope you all have a nice weekend and stay safe.